Am I the a-hole for reporting my ex and her husband to the police for stealing my property? My ex-wife 39F and I 41M share custody of our three children 16, 14, and 12 equally, and no child support is paid. Our marriage didn't end on the best of terms, and we communicate through an app only when required to for the sake of the kids. She has since remarried and has a 15-year-old stepchild and a 13-year-old stepchild. Her husband and I do not speak also. We've had some issues with my ex keeping property that is mine if the kids have it on her time. It started with a cell phone. I gave our eldest my old phone when one of ex's stepkids broke his phone. My ex then told our oldest they were keeping it at her house, and she refused to return it even when I went over there and asked. I was told she had every right to confiscate it. I followed up with an email and she told me to get over it and she would not hand it over. The next time our daughter, 14, brought some of my tools into school with her for an assignment, but it was a custody exchange day, so she left my house but went home to her mom's. My ex believed it wasn't appropriate for her to have them, so she took them and refused to return them to me. Again, I got a written exchange as proof. This last time was with our youngest. I let him use an old iPod for a class assignment on recent old tech gadgets. Apparently, her 13-year-old stepchild had the same assignment on a different day, and she decided both should get to use it. I told her it was my property and she had to return it, got another email exchange, and then I contacted the police. My ex gave the stuff back, but she lost her mind over me getting the police involved for petty stuff. She said I could have demanded it back after her stepkid used the iPod, and I told her she wasn't giving any of it back, and what I give for my kids is not for her stepkids. She brought up how more serious trouble could have come from it, and I told her it would be deserved because you cannot steal someone else's property. She told me it was just my spiteful side emerging because none of it was a big deal, or I never would have given them to my kids, which I think is the dumbest argument. The phone was because her stepkids broke our eldest's phone and she wasn't about to replace it. Our daughter needed tools for school, and it was only for school, and she wanted to return them to me, but her mom said no, and then the iPod was just for our youngest. I'm not here to help her stepkids in any way. My ex and her husband and their mom, if she's still in the picture, can do that. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. Next time she will think twice about stealing your property. Next story. Am I the a-hole for cheating at an eating competition? So, our local restaurant that has really good wings was hosting a hot pepper eating competition recently, with a bunch of coupons for free wings on the line. I have a weird genetic quirk where my body doesn't register capsaicin normally, so my spice tolerance levels are way higher than normal. So, I entered the competition and won the coupons, but my friends are now telling me that I cheated and I should have let normal people compete and get the wings. So, Reddit, am I the a-hole for competing? The wings are so good though. Edit. Thanks guys, I guess the consensus is that chicken wings gods blessed me and my friends are just jelly. I now have to embark on the holy pilgrimage to all hot pepper contests in the Fire Nation to conquer them all. Wish me luck. AITA 2. Since many people asked, no, it doesn't hurt throughout the whole body, nor on the way out. Me running against Usain Bolt. You are genetically gifter. You are a cheater. Me playing basketball against some 2M20 giant. Stop cheating. Your friend's an idiot, not the a-hole. Next story. Am I the a-hole for pulling away from my identical twin sister even though I know it has caused her to spiral? I 18F am an identical twin. Our parents encouraged an insanely close to the point of codependency relationship, and my sister fell hard into it while I resented the hell out of it. Our parents even named us super similarly. My sister is Katie and I'm Casey, and the spelling of my name was chosen intentionally. Our parents wanted us to match always. My parents and sister always expected us to do everything together. We shared a bedroom and bed our whole lives until June. That's when I packed up my stuff and I moved out of our parents' house. Our parents insisted to every school we went to and every teacher we had that we'd be in the same class and sitting next to each other all year. When we had field trips, we were to be each other's buddy. If one was invited to a birthday party, then the other was assumed to be invited too, regardless of whether they were or not. All our extracurriculars were the same, and it was miserable for me because I hated them. Those were all my sister's interests, not mine. Anytime I tried to set boundaries with my sister, she'd discard them and would carry on as normal. And normal for us was being codependent and super enmeshed. I was never very close to our parents, but I gave up on ever having a good relationship with them when I was 11, and they got mad at me for keeping a secret friend from my sister. They actually accused me of bullying because I wanted to keep a friend to myself. That's how bad things were. My sister has always hated when someone liked me and wanted to be my friend but didn't like her or want to be her friend. For my sister, we're one and the same. If you like one, you like both. She doesn't see us as our own individual people, just as twins. Identical twins who are alike in every single way possible. I remember being in the hospital when I was 14 and she wasn't allowed to stay with me, and my parents were removed from the hospital for abusing the staff over enforcing that rule of no minors overnight. I was released after 2 days, and those were the best nights of sleep I had until that point. I also felt like I got some breathing room, which was needed. My sister never slept. She was an absolute mess because I wasn't there. It made me wish I could have stayed in the hospital indefinitely. We were supposed to go to the same college, live together, and our parents planned on bullying admin at our school of choice into assigning us as roommates. But then I acted like I wasn't going to college. I stayed with a friend and blocked my family for a while before me and my friend moved out of state to a community college. I just started everything. I got a job too, so I can support myself, which is also my reason for community college. I did unblock my sister, and it's been awful. I have debated whether I block her again or not, but if I do, I know it will be a forever thing. There's no doing it for now. If I block her again, I won't ever have a relationship with her again, so I'm trying not to and seeing if she can try and grow. But she fell apart without me. She's already dropped out of college. She's back living with our parents. She has pleaded with me to come and take her home with me. Our parents used her phone to call me and say I'm awful for pulling away from my sister who needs me. They said I'm being abusive and accused me of trying to KLL her with this. I can see her downward spiral, but I just can't be enmeshed with her for the rest of my life. I want to be me, not Katie's twin Casey. Am I the a-hole? You're not wrong. Your parents caused unhealthy enmeshment. Setting boundaries is necessary for your independence. I'm still stuck on the fact that they made you share a room and a bed until 18? That's so inappropriate and weird for them to force. It's absolutely acceptable for twins to need space, and it's no wonder you're over it, Opie. I'm just sorry you had to endure that for so long. Not the a-hole in any way. Opie replies, they sure did. They did it when we were babies and toddlers and thought it was such a cute idea and that we'd do it forever, basically. Send a message to your parents and sister and any other family that matters. You had 2 unique and different children. Instead of encouraging us to each grow up into adults with our own individual interests and goals, you handicapped my sister and dismissed me entirely. Now you get to deal with the consequences. I recommend therapy for all of you. I will need it as well. For my personal growth, I am blocking you all for 6 months. I love you and wish you well. Not the a-hole. They made this mess. I'm proud of you. Your parents are abusive to you both. I would block your entire family after sending them this post. It's insane that you basically were raised as one person. They ruined your childhood by not letting you be individual people. Your sister was probably hated by a lot of people for always encroaching on your life. You hated being forced into crap with her. They failed you both. Go to community college and transfer after. Block your family after telling them in very plain language how they ruined your life letter might be best, as they can't find you that way. Put them on ice. Opie replies, my parents are still blocked. It's just my sister I unblocked, and honestly, I am leaning more toward walking away for good every day. I don't even want a relationship with her anymore, but I know that sounds harsh. And she's a product of our parents and not so much malicious about any of this. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not sleeping with my wife after she accused me of raping her? Hi all, as the title says, my wife accused me the other day of raping her after sex, and it's making it really difficult to look at her anymore. For context, me and my wife have been married for 7 years and dated for 4 years prior. We've told each other everything there is to be told. She knows that I was molested as a child by my older brother, and I know she went through something similar. When we first started dating, she told me her ex used to rape her, and that really pissed me off. So much so that I found his work through his Facebook, found what time he got to work literally by ringing them and asking, and even found what bus he took to and from work. I really was ready to go prison over this. Thankfully, a chance call from my wife stopped me from doing something I would now regret. Now with that out the way, you can understand my feelings going forward. Last week, while me and my wife were cuddled up post alone time, she says to me, technically you raped me. Naturally, I was both shocked and confused by this statement, especially seeing as she was the one to initiate and drag me on top of her, so I asked her what she meant. And she told me, well, I didn't actually want sex. I only did that because I knew you wanted it. This one sentence has me questioning our whole relationship. How many times has she done something like this in the past where she felt pressured into having sex without me even realizing it? Was she confusing sexual frustration with work frustration? Was I not being kind enough to her for her to think this way? Was this what she meant when she said her ex raped her? Was I really willing to go to prison all those years ago over something like this? Over a misunderstanding? I've had a lot of questions these last few days, and every time my partner goes to initiate sex, all I can think about was that night. Will she accuse me of raping her again? Have I been moodier than normal? Why is she doing this? Is it actually because she wants sex or just another case of doing it cause she thinks this is what I want? I've mentioned my concerns to her and told her I don't feel comfortable having sex with her at the moment after her accusations. But she tells me I'm overreacting it and should just take what's being offered. So am I overreacting and being an a-hole, or are these feeling valid? Peace, I know this is a strange place to get validation from, but me and her share the same friend group, and I've not exactly got any family I can trust to open up to about this. So I can only anonymously post here to vent and be judged. Not the a-hole. Her response to you saying that you don't feel comfortable having sex due to her accusations is somewhat disturbing. You should take it what's being offered is exactly what you did, and then she essentially weaponized that against you, knowing your traumatic history. How are you to know if the next time she initiates she won't turn around and say the same thing? That's very dark, dude. I don't want to be an armchair psychiatrist, so I'll just say this. If you want to save this marriage, you need to go to couples therapy. Someone clinically trained. She may need more help individually. If I was you, I would start documenting things and wouldn't have sex with her until you get into therapy. You can't risk further accusations, although even if you don't have sex, she may run around with her narrative anyway. You really need to protect yourself, or someone else might locate you and do to you what you were going to do to her ex. I would not touch her either. She initiated, consented to, and willingly had sex with you and then turns around and claimed rape. I think your wife is psychologically disturbed and in need of diagnostic therapy to discover her problem / whether her perception is real or what it is. It's possible she's actually toying with you, but her behavior is abnormal. You don't tell a partner after consensual sex, you just raped me. I too would not want to risk having sex with someone with these attitudes in case she went further the next time and reported you to the police. It's time for therapy / counseling and medical / psychiatric diagnosis. I hope you guys like this video. If you did, make sure like, comment, share, and subscribe the channel, our posts.